It's Wednesdays with Wade. San Antonio Brahmas head coach Wade Phillips joins the Blitz every Wednesday for an inside look at your San Antonio Brahmas. Now, here's the Blitz with Wade Phillips.
Coach Wade Phillips of the San Antonio Brahmas joining us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Wednesdays with Wade, 1-0 on the season. Coach, we got a lot to talk about. Some football, some not football. But let's start with football. That game, everybody talking about a thick six. You had a punter throw it to a center, going for it on a trick play on fourth down. And when you guys drew that up and hearing afterwards that in practice, the play never worked, yet you still called it. How confident were you that they were going to execute that play?
Well, actually, the play did work in practice every time, but it was to our tight end who was running down the left side. We thought he'd be wide open, which he was not. And so our punter did a great job. I mean, first he had to look for the tight end, and then he had to look for the kicker who was running down the seam, and both those guys were covered. Nobody covered our other tight end, who was our center, who was reported eligible. So nobody covered him. So that really the key guy was Brad. He picked the right guy and threw it to him because he was wide open, but you're still throwing it to an offensive lineman for a touchdown, which that doesn't happen very often, especially 40 yards out.
So, Coach, I've got to ask you then, when your punter threw that pass and you knew it was going to your center, were you a nervous wreck, and did that ball just seem like it hung in the air for about an hour?
It did hang up there for a while, and he was so open that he was just running backwards. I know what he's thinking. He's trying. I got to catch this ball. He didn't catch it over his shoulder like you'd catch a normal pass. He was running, but luckily he was so open that, and the pass was a good pass, went right to him, and then surprisingly he rumbled into the end zone. I mean, he ran over a defensive back.
Well, that's the thing, is he caught it around the 15 and turned and scored. We had Alex Millett with us here on the Blitz on Monday afternoon. He thought like he was in the end zone in the goal line. He said when he turned around and realized there was a mile to go, but he got there. That was, I don't know what was more incredible. The run after the catch, I think, isn't getting talked about near enough.
Right. Yeah, he did that too. I mean, it was a fun play, certainly. And like I said, we didn't complete it to him in practice because we thought the other guy was going to be open, but he wasn't. So it was an ad-lib play, certainly. And part of it was, there were only 14 seconds when we ran the play, and I thought if we didn't make it, they wouldn't have time to score. You factor in whether you're going to kick a long field goal or even try a trick play. You don't want the other team to have a chance to score on you before the half either. So it worked out great that way too.
Well, Wade, all in all, I know that coaches are never completely satisfied, but with the early kickoff on Easter Sunday, for your guys to go out there and play the way they did, you've got to be, I would think, very happy with that.
I am, and our crowd was there. I mean, I didn't expect a whole lot on Easter Sunday, and I appreciate the people who did come out, and they did a great job of helping us be the home team. So it's still, you still depend on your crowd to give you motivation, and they did that.
San Antonio Brahmas head coach Wade Phillips joining us here on the Blitz every Wednesday. We call it Wednesdays with Wade. You look at the game, you get the big win over DC, and coming into the season, they were expected to be a really good team. You guys held them out of the end zone. You're a defensive-minded guy. They finished with 12 points. Now, they got into the end zone, but with penalties, some came back. Take me through that bizarre play where they scored. There was the guy from D.C. that spit on one of your guys, got tossed out. Andre Gerard told you a challenge. There was a false start that wasn't called initially. All of that, and so the touchdown came off the board. What I loved about it as a TV viewer is we heard everything happening as it was being discussed. But in your mind, what was going on with that play?
Well, we knew they had the penalty, and I think, because they had the penalty, we had more time to evaluate whether we wanted to challenge anything on the touchdown. We always looked at challenge. If the other team scores a touchdown, you have one challenge. So, and usually you want to use it in the second half and maybe the fourth quarter. So, we looked for anything there, and there was something there. And yeah, Andre was saying it, but we were getting it from upstairs. Our coaches upstairs were saying, "Hey, the right tackle jumped too early," and so I knew that. And so I asked them about the challenge. They said, "Yes, you can challenge that." And then I said, "Do we still get the penalty also?" And they said, "Yes." And I said, "Well, yeah, let's challenge it." And so it turned out that not only took off the touchdown off the board, they got a 15-yard penalty, and then it put them further back where they had to try to throw it. And of course, we intercepted, almost ran it all the way back for a touchdown and really sealed the game.
Wade, when we talked last week, we were talking about, obviously you guys practiced, you went through everything, but you hadn't been in any game action. Was there anything that your team did on Sunday that maybe surprised you a little bit, that they did it better than maybe you thought that they would?
Well, I had some confidence going in that our team was going to meld together well, but you don't ever know, especially a new team like we put together. A lot of these guys have never played together, as opposed, and that's why I think DC was a big favorite, because most of the guys that played last year and only lost one game during the regular season. So, and they had one of the top quarterbacks. So, we didn't know, we thought Chase Garbers was going to play good, and he did. I think, along with a lot of other players, we thought, Williams was going to play good at linebacker, and Beckett was going to play good at linebacker. We knew those things, but you just didn't know about the whole team melding together. And it was nice to see that way we did it.
Well, and Wade, you told us last week the offense was going to be fun and score a lot of points. You did that, 27-12, the final score, and you like going for it on fourth down. Even when your punter was going to punt it, you had him throw the ball. Not good on third down, but fourth down, you guys were really good.
Yeah, well, we got close. We had some, we have a criteria going into the game, like you said, on certain things. Certain places on the field where it's fourth and 3 yards or less, we're going to go for it. If it's more than that, going into this last game, we weren't going to go for it. So, it's our third downs. We need to do better offensively. Defensively, we played well on third down, but there's always things you can work on, and that's good. We want to try to get better.
Well, Coach, you're on the road this week, and obviously at home, it was good to start at home, good to get the W. But going on the road, do anything change as far as you go? I know you want to improve and fix some things, but is it still pretty much the same approach, whether it's on the road or at home?
Yeah, it's really the same. You prepare the same way, and in this league. Because we base in Dallas or Arlington or Bedford, where we are, since we base here, then we travel on the bus, which is 4 hours to San Antonio for our home games. So we're just flying to we're going to fly to Memphis. It'll probably take less time to fly to Memphis, and so what I'm saying is we travel each week,
Gotcha.
No matter what. So I don't think it's a big factor in this league, because you're kind of used to playing away from where you practice.
When you travel to Memphis this week, do both teams fly on the same plane, or do you get separate planes?
We play. We're on the same plane. So
Yeah, so both teams. Is that an issue at any point, do you think? Or, do you separate,
No.
like the winning team gets the better seats or closest to the bathroom? I mean, you get the better meal.
Well, I wish the winning team could sit in the front, but they make the visiting team sit in the back of the plane. So
it's kind
we're
of
already mad when we get there.
Now, when you guys get to Memphis, obviously the home team, they're going to have to go do things in that city. For your players, Do you get to go get some good barbecue? Like, is there a good restaurant in Memphis, barbecue joint that you want to try to hit up this weekend?
Well, it's hard to beat Texas barbecue, as far as that's concerned. But the players are basically everybody's on their own to eat dinner, and then we have our meeting at 7:00 and from 7 to 9, and then 10:00 curfew. So, and that's the same. Like I say, it's the same whether we go to San Antonio or we go to Memphis or wherever. So, it's the routine's the same, which is good for players and coaches.
Well, Wade, I've got to ask you, if you happen to go to Gus's Fried Chicken, would you order Gizzards? Are you a Gizzard guy?
No, no, I'm not. But I go for the fried chicken now.
Absolutely, yes.
See that? I'm surprised, Wade. I figured I'm a Gizzard guy. Ryan Eagle is not. I figured you'd be a good Gizzard guy.
No, me and Ryan we know our chicken, I think.
Exactly, Coach. I was telling him. I mean, just saying Gizzard is not the most appetizing thing in the world, is it?
It doesn't sound good to me.
Well, I mean, it's fried goodness with gravy. But then again, Joe over there, he puts ketchup in the gravy with this chicken fried steak.
No, I haven't heard of that, and I won't do that.
Nor should you.
It doesn't sound good.
It does not, but
it's delicious, Coach.
It sounds awful, and it looks worse when you're watching them eat it. I can tell you that. Wade, good luck this weekend up there in Memphis. Can't wait till the 14th when we pack the dome when St. Louis comes to town with our Brahmas being 2-0 on the season. Appreciate you joining us, Coach.
You bet. Let's do that.
Absolutely. Wade
right.
Phillips, head coach of the San Antonio Brahmas, joining us here as all guests do on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online, buyersbarricades.com.